Hi, and welcome to Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at Sonic 2. I went today to see the film. I'm going to give you my view on the film, but we're also going to take a look at a news article and to see how the box office is going. So let's start with that first, and then I'll do the review of the film. But it is quite a positive review, I've got to be honest. But we'll get to that in a moment. But here's the article. Well, here we are. This is the article. It's from Variety. News just in, really. It's saying sort of, nearly 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you add 8 hours, that's 5 o'clock. It's now... Yeah, so it's 2 hours ago. But I would have been quicker, but we've just got back from the cinema. And it is... No, I'll save the review. Anyway, looking at this... Box office, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 rings in 67 million plus projected opening, and Ambulance is stalling. And I covered this before with Ambulance. I said it could be Michael Bay's sort of worst film. He's due a turkey, but who knows? Anyway, going in. As the box office opens two films featuring high-octane speakers this weekend, one has emerged a clear victor. Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 2 looks to top the charts this weekend, with an impressive opening in the neighbourhood of $67 to $69 million. Meanwhile, Universal's R-rated actioner Ambulance will likely fail to clear double digits. Yeah, it's not doing at all well, Ambulance, but we'll come back to that. Sonic unleashed on the box office on Thursday to the tune of 6.3 million in previews and has only gained steam since, playing in 4,234 locations. The Sega sequel is outperforming its 2020 predecessor, which opened to 58 million at a time when COVID-19 was still a nebulous threat to most North Americans. That Sonic 2 is opening even stronger isn't only good news for Paramount's hunt for sustainable IP, but it also shows that family audiences are largely ready to return to theatres for the right movie. And this absolutely is the right movie. If you've got kids, take them to see this. It's definitely worth seeing. It needs to be on your radar. It's a fun film, but I keep trying to review it, and I said I'll do the review after this piece, which I will. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 stars funnyman Ben Schwartz as the voice of the titular video game character, with Idris Elba joining the series as the voice of the villain Knuckles the Echidna. Colleen O'Shaughnessy, can you get a more Irish name than that, who has regularly voiced Tails the Fox in the video game series, reprises the role of Sonic's sidekick for the film. The live-action cast includes Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik and James Marsden as Sheriff Tom Wachowski, as well as Tika Sumpter, Natasha Rothwell, Adam Pally, Shamar Moore, Lee Majub and Tom Butler. Sonic 2 has garnered mixed reviews, currently holding a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. Variety's Peter DeBruge wrote the film takes what was endearing about the original, in a word, personality, and renders it generic in a hurry. The Speed Demon's second run has been met warmly by audiences though, with the film earning an A cinema score rating, indicating resounding enthusiasm from general audiences. With a big opening and a great word of mouth under its belt, Paramount should have no trouble in recouping the 90 million production budget for the film. Yeah, with 90 million production and 90 million marketing, which is the general rule, you double the production to allow for the marketing, it means it's got to make 180 million to break even. It's already sitting at around 70 million after a few days, this first weekend, 70 million, and that's just domestic. I think it's going to clear the 180 million with ease. I predict possibly closer to $500 million. I think this is a potentially $500 million film, which would be good for Paramount. They need a win. While the Blue Blur is demonstrating a more successful side of the box office's recovery after the COVID-19 lockdowns, Universal's Ambulance could ultimately pan out as a cautionary tale. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not. I don't think it's a bad film. It's just not a knock your socks off film. It's not what you expect from Michael Bay. He's normally bigger than this, and it's just not there. I don't know what's happened to him. But anyway, the R-rated Demolition Derby from action aficionado Michael Bay likely won't crack double digits in its opening, landing in fourth place on the domestic charts with a projected 8.1 million from 2,374 locations. That's hardly a victorious start for a prospective crowd pleaser, even one that carries a modest £40 million production budget, which is literally nothing in today's world. There's television shows that are made for that sort of budget. Never mind a Michael Bay film. Ambulance had plenty of factors in its favour heading into its opening. The film boasts a diverse leading trio of popular stars: Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Eliza Gonzalez, as well as some of the strongest reviews of a Michael Bay's career. Audiences have largely been approving, bestowing an A- cinema score rating, and the film has locked down IMAX format auditoriums for the week, opening up the opportunity for premium ticket pricing. Even so, an opening beneath 10 million indicates that the adult audiences are going to be more discerning about what releases to roll out to theatres for after the age of the pandemic lockdowns. And it's just sort of then going on about other films. But so basically what you're looking at there is the number one film is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and it's really time for me to review it.
Yeah! I make this look good! Oh, great, the Winter Soldier. For a guy named Knuckles, you are really bad at punching.
You're no match for me. I've been training for this my entire life.
And I have no training at all, yet here I am ahead of you. That's gotta be embarrassing.
Yeah, so there you have a little bit of wisecrackery from Sonic, and sort of the response from Knuckles. And then if you didn't know that Knuckles was voiced by Idris Elba, you'd hear the voice and you go, that's vaguely familiar, but you can't place it, and it's only when you see the credits at the back and you go, oh yeah, that's who it is. I happen to know it was Idris Elba going in, so as soon as I heard the voice I knew, but he plays a good role. He's good characterization, old Idris, so he's done well with that. But my impression of the film, I went to the popcorn shop, bought the popcorn, they threw a film in. I think that's how it works. It is given the price of popcorn. So we sat down, up it comes. Didn't know what to expect. Beyond that, I knew it would be Sonic, but we didn't know the ending. I had no idea about the storyline or anything like that. So, we sat there, and it opens up, and it begins with Jim Carrey alone on a planet where he was marooned. And he keeps trying to make coffee out of mushrooms. The only thing on the planet to eat is mushrooms. Every bit of technology is mushroom based. There's nods. There's little tips, if you will, Easter eggs all through the film. Think Tom Hanks and Wilson, the football. In this, Dr. Robotnik has got a rock called Stone, and he's carved a little face into it, So there's little nods all the way through this. In fact, there's Easter eggs all the way through this film, and half the fun is trying to spot them. But needless to say, I'm trying not to spoil. There'll be a few mild spoilers, but nothing major. But needless to say, Robotnik manages to get back to Earth. But you've seen that in the trailers, he's there, so that's not a big surprise. But he's not alone, and he's got Knuckles with him. And Knuckles is on a mission to find the emerald. This powerful emerald that will allow him to do things. And Robotnik wants it for his nefarious and evil ends. And so Sonic has to try and stop them, but Sonic has got a new friend, Two Tails. Who is voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, who played Two Tails in the video games. So nice little bit of continuity there. But my overall impression of the film is it's a children's film. It's aimed squarely, I suppose, at, you're going to look, the 9 to 13 age group, I think, would be the prime child age. Maybe a couple of years younger, but you're looking 9 to 13 would be that sort of prime age that I think they're pitching at. But there's enough in there for adults. few little lines that sort of the younger children wouldn't necessarily pick up on, but of course being an adult you do pick up on, and they're in there, so it would keep the parents entertained. It's fun. This is the thing, it's fun. It doesn't take itself seriously. There's a lot of sort of slapstick in it. There's a lot of humour in it. There is some menace. I think if you took like some of the very smaller children would probably be a little bit scared, because there is a little bit of menace in there. Nothing serious, but just enough edge to give you that little bit of tension within the film. So it's not all rainbows and pixies. It's a good rounded film. Now Rotten Tomatoes is showing it at 67, which I think is unfair. I think it's far too low. The film is worth a lot more than that. I think it's in the 80s. I would say there's a couple of minor faults with it. There's a passage in the middle which is a little bit flat, that could have done with a bit of tighter editing, move the story along a little bit quicker. And I think the film overall is probably about 10 to 15 minutes too long if you've got young children. But other than that, it's an enjoyable romp, as I say. It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. And they're in that order. And it's nice and there's a satisfying end. And then there's a post-credit scene that obviously sets up Sonic 3. Looking at the performances, they're all good, solid performances. There's no weak characters there. There's a scene, Shamar Moore, who you may remember from Criminal Minds. He plays a sort of how can I put this? A romantic interest, because it's all based. There's a whole sort of set of scenes based on he's getting married to the sister. So he's standing there, and obviously Shamar Moore, a massively handsome man, and then there's several scenes where he has to get his top off to show his magnificent manly physique. He says jealously. Don't get me wrong, I've got everything a woman wants. If a woman wants a sort of middle-aged, slightly camp accountant. But my wife's happy with that. But he's got this scene, and he's got him and his crew, and they're all sitting there looking marvellous. And then, the leading lady, she's gorgeous. All the side supporting characters are great. I don't think there's anyone that you would say was weak in it. Put it that way. So the cast are all good. They're all good. The voice casting is excellent. Sonic is just the right side of not being annoying. He's got a sort of naive innocence, and it's almost a coming of age story for Sonic, which is a nice little turnaround. There's a bit of pathos and empathy in it. Something for everyone. Plus action. There is a fair whack of action. It's the sort of film you'll go and see. If you're the parent bringing children to see it, you will enjoy the film. They will enjoy the film, and so it's going to be a success for that. But like I say, I think for the younger children, it's probably slightly too long. But that really is the only downside. Is it the greatest film you've ever seen? No. Is it a good film? Yes. Have there been better video game films? Yes. But it's by no means the worst. However, one thing I did find slightly disappointing, and it is personal opinion, and that is, for me, Jim Carrey wasn't given enough screen time. I think Carrey is marvellous. He's over the top. He plays a wicked role. But I think he was slightly underutilised. I think they could have done with just a few more scenes interspersed with him and his sort of maniacal zaniness. Maybe. But there you see, I'm niggling at this, because even when the scenes weren't with him and they were with the other actors, they did a good job. I can't fault it, really. Like I say, my niggles are small. Do I like the film? Yes. Do I recommend the film? Yes. Do I say go out take your kids, go and see the film. Absolutely. They will love it. You will like it. You won't feel like you've been ripped off. Well, not paying the price of the film. Depends on how much popcorn you buy. Honestly, they're like highway robbery. You know, those popcorn sellers. But yeah, go and see it. Hour and 40 minutes. You're in, you're out, you're away, you're home. You've had a good afternoon or a good early evening, whenever you take them. If you don't happen to have children and you don't mind seeing a children's film on your own, go and see it. But if you do object to seeing a children's film on your own, you know, borrow a friend's kids or something, force them along, they'll enjoy it, and you get to see it. Anyway, personally, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to say there's a little bit of room for manoeuvre. You could, like I say, slightly too long, not enough Jim Carrey. That's it. That's the only things I can fault it with. Other than that, I'm done. I'm out of here. If you like what you're seeing here on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell for notifications. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.